Hey everybody, it's me again, and
Christine, hi.
And this is episode number 6, and it's gonna be a strange one a little bit because it's kind of like a little bit out of the paranormal, but kind of still in the paranormal. First, we're gonna do some shout outs. Shout outs to people that leave comments or email me on the show. Kevin Smith, Chelsea Worley. Let's see what else we got here. Stephanie Boydston, Miranda Lucero, and of course Omar Montero. He's constantly commenting and stuff. Many more. If I forget you, I'll get you next time. No worries. We're starting a new tradition. Every episode, we're going to try out a new beer. Let's see what kind of beer we have today. What do you get, Christine?
Let's see. We got ourselves a Tangerine Express IP. Oh, you got it?
Hold it right there.
You sure? Pause it. Mine's prettier.
There's going to be some hum-hawing about this. I got a lot of flack for the last time. And when I get flack, that just motivates me to do it even more.
Can you do it for me? Oh.
So let's try this out. I believe it's an IPA.
Yes, it is.
Let's see.
Prost. That's actually pretty good.
It tastes like a Christmas tree.
With like tangerines hung on it.
It's delicious.
I like it. Actually, I like this better than the other one.
All right. I want to talk a little bit about EVPs. We've been catching a lot of EVPs. It seems like every time we do an episode, we get an EVP.
Especially in Shama.
Up in Shama from episode 4, when I said we're going to go out to the cemetery next day. Caught an EVP at the cemetery again. And then we got back to our little RV place, and I was running some tests on my recorder and caught another EVP. So there's a lot of them. EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. For those of you who don't understand or never heard of it, is a disembodied voice that you pick up on a recorder that you, with your own ears, don't hear. So if you have a recorder running and you don't hear anything, and then you play it back and you hear a voice, that's an EVP. For me, Class A, for most people, Class A EVP is when it's intelligible. You can, without a doubt, understand what this thing's saying. It's pretty cool, and if anybody can experiment with that. You can use your phone recorder. You can download a free app, just a audio recorder on your phone, and catch EVPs. Obviously, the better your recorder is, the better the EVPs are. But I've caught some fantastic EVPs on my phone. We've caught some good ones on our camera. One of these episodes, I'm going to compile all the EVPs. We're going to play them and dissect them and talk about them, and you'll be impressed with some of the EVPs we've caught. And it's startling, it's scary, and it's exciting at the same time, because some of these EVPs can be pretty sad. If you ever catch an EVP and you're by yourself and you catch an EVP, it's going to change the way you see things, because this voice came from somewhere, and you're in a complete clean environment. If you're out in the middle of the woods or out in the middle of nowhere, you're not going to pick up a radio signal. It's not your phone. And if it's an intelligent response to a question, it kind of changes things the way you see them. So if you want to capture EVPs, obviously ask sensible questions. I mean, people don't get a whole lot of results with is there a God? Are you in heaven or are you in hell? Keep in mind that these things are real, which I believe and you believe.
Absolutely.
They may not know where they're at. And by you asking them, hey, are you dead? This could be pretty disturbing to them also. Ask normal questions, like you would talk to a normal person. Interact with them like a normal person would. So that's a little bit about EVPs. They're fun, and it's an easy way to get started in this. If you do catch an EVP, email it to me. We'll dissect it. I have some programs we can slow it down, speed it up, and some filters where we can clean up the backgrounds. But send it to me untouched, preferably, and we'll dissect it. And if it's a good one, we'll put it on one of these episodes. So I want to talk a little bit about parallel universes and multiverses. And you say, well, what the heck does that got to do with anything? Because in my career as a police officer, I believe I may have experienced that a couple of times. So parallel universes and multiverses, some of the top scientists now, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Carl Sagan, the late Stephen Hawking, they all believe there's multiverses now and multiple universes. So the reason I say I may have experienced this is I'm going to give you a couple of stories that I've experienced in my career. As a police officer, I've been shot at 3 times. And that's never fun, let me tell you. Twice at the end of the incident, you know, when it's all over, the adrenaline's gone down, you get this overwhelming feeling, like you're questioning yourself, did I really survive this just now? Did I survive this encounter? And now I understand how stress works, and I understand how adrenaline works, and how adrenaline dumps work. You know, I've been a firearms instructor and a defensive tactics instructor for over 20 years. And that's part of the training. So in one of the shooting incidents, I clearly remember getting home, pulling up in the driveway. It's about 2:30 in the morning. I turned my unit off, and I'm just sitting there. And I was scared to go inside the house. I was scared to go inside the house thinking that I would walk into my family crying, saying that they've just been notified that I got killed. And that really bugged me. I'm like, I don't want to, you know, I didn't want to be like a ghost walking into my house thinking that everything's still okay and nobody can see me. There's been several occasions, you know, where I've gotten home after a really traumatic night, where I'd go to bed and I'd have to reach over and touch my wife just to make sure it's still real. Wasn't quite sure. Yeah. Pretty strange. And there's a lot of you cops out there that have experienced the same. Don't be afraid to say it. I've talked to you guys. The third story is kind of a weird one. This happened, you know, here in the county I worked. And it was a real stormy night. We get crazy spring winds around here. In spring, you know, it's not unusual to get 50-mile-an-hour winds, sometimes up 70, 80. It's just insane, giant dust storms. It's the same thing every year. So I'm about 10 miles south of a municipality, and it's probably 1 o'clock in the morning, and I get a tone out. A dispatch to a vehicle rollover with an ejection up by the interstate. And like I said, I'm 10 miles south, and I'm on this little 2-lane road. So I'm heading towards this call. So I turn on lights and siren, you know. It's exciting, police work's exciting, and that's what you live for, that's what you're gonna be doing. So I'm hauling ass. Probably doing about 90 miles an hour, just flying down this road. And I'm driving a Ford Expedition, you know, and it's all strobed out, beautiful unit. And there's not much traffic. I don't recall any traffic. You know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, there's nothing going on out there on that road. So I'm hauling ass, and I look down to change something, you know, either change my siren wheel or I can't remember exactly what I was doing, but I looked down for a second, and when I looked up, I see a telephone pole leaning into the road, probably about 45 degrees. It's on the right side of me, and it's leaning into the road, and I clearly see a bundle of power lines draping across the road. And they're about just a little higher than the hood, just below the windshield, so right about in there. And you know how it is when you get the crap scared out of you, you look up and see something, your instinct is to slam on the brake. So I lock it up, and I'm doing 90, and I step on the brake, and I'm skidding and sliding and screeching. Keeping it straight, I finally get to a stop. My heart is just like, you know, whew. I'm like, holy shit. And then after I get stopped, I'm thinking, I didn't feel any impact, I didn't hear any noise, I didn't feel anything. So I turn around, and you know, I got my spotlight, my overhead lights on, my takedowns, I light up the highway, and I could see my skid marks where I locked it up. And they're actually leaving my lane, going into the left lane, the oncoming lane. You know, it's a pretty long skid mark. And it's just, when I locked it up, I started drifting off to the left. I don't recall doing that. In my mind, I just kept going straight. Also, there's no power lines and there's no crooked pole. So, you know, I spent a few, maybe, you know, 30 seconds just spotlighting the air, like, oh, there's no pole down. There's no power lines down. So I turned my spotlight off and started heading back north towards this crash. And the whole time I'm heading back up there, I just got this eerie feeling like, this doesn't seem right. You know, I don't recall skidding to the left. I don't recall skidding that far to begin with, but I clearly remember the power line and the pole. I've seen it, and it scared the shit out of me. So the whole time I went to this rollover call, once I get there on scene, you know, I have this eerie feeling like, I wonder if I just got killed. I wonder if I got in a really bad crash and this is just me going on in another universe or, you know, different dimension, or it's really, really strange. I had a really eerie feeling about that. So anyway, quick, cool story. I know there's a lot of you cops out there that have had that exact same happen to you. You know, I've talked to you guys about this, and, you know, send me an email if you agree. Comment on my YouTube video if you agree, even better. Don't be afraid, you know. Nobody's gonna think you're crazy. I'm not gonna give the silver away until we get 100 subscribers, so let's get on with that. Otherwise, I'm keeping it. That's right.
It's going in the collection.
I'm gonna melt it down, make a silver bullet. You know for what?
Werewolves?
Damn straight. I heard they don't like them things. They're allergic to silver. I have a friend who's not allergic to silver, which is pretty strange. Other than that, please, you know what you got to do. And we'll catch you in 2 weeks. I try to put one of these out every other weekend. So, till next time, see ya.
Bye.
Oh, and how's your beer?
Fantastic.
It's not bad, huh?
No.
I like it. It's not bad. Do you ever go ghost hunting drunk?
No, but Mom did.
Too much info, sorry.